Good morning, everybody. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Welcome to the morning edition of Tyrone Bowman Tonight. It's an urgent story I want to talk about as reported by major media. It's reported by the ESPN News here. Here's what's happening. Here's what's going down. Damar Hamlin is in critical condition after suffering cardiac arrest, and the Bengals game was postponed. So safety uh, Buffalo safety Damar Hamlin had his heart restored on the field after suffering cardiac arrest during the team game's Monday night game against the Bengals, and he is currently in critical condition at a Cincinnati hospital. The Bills said in a statement early Tuesday morning. The chilling scene midway through the opening quarter of the Monday night showdown between the two NFL powers led the league to postpone the game about 90 minutes after kickoff. CPR was administered to Hamlin, who was 24, on the field for multiple minutes after he collapsed following his tackle of Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins. Hamlin received oxygen, according to the ESPN broadcast, as he was placed in the ambulance and taken off the field some 16 minutes after he collapsed, and then was driven to nearby University of Cincinnati Medical Center. According to the Bills, he is currently sedated and listed in critical condition. The University of Cincinnati Medical Center did not anticipate making any statement early Tuesday morning. The majority of the Bills team remained at Picor Stadium well into Monday night. The team, including all players outside of Hamlin, then departed shortly after midnight and returned to Buffalo. Our thoughts are with Damar and the Buffalo Bills. We will provide more information as it becomes available, the league said in a statement just after 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The NFL has been in constant communication with the NFL Players Association, which is in agreement with postponing the game. In a conference call shortly after midnight, the NFL did not provide an update on potentially rescheduling the game as the league enters the final week of its regular season. Let me pause right here and just say this. Oftentimes, individuals don't realize that athletes, they're magnificent individuals who have extraordinary athletic prowess and abilities to do extraordinary things in their respective field. But at the same time, they're human. They have families, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, and etc. And this is what I try to focus on with Tyrone Bowman tonight. I like to go behind the scenes of everyday athleticism and deal with reality, deal with circumstances and situations that you probably won't even hear about and see on any other broadcast. So, to reiterate, in a conference call shortly after midnight, the NFL did not provide an update on potentially rescheduling the game as the league enters the final week of its regular season. The injury took place after Hamlin tackled Higgins following the star Bengals wideouts reception over the middle near midfield. Higgins led with his right shoulder and hit Hamlin in the chest. Hamlin quickly got up afterward, was on his feet for about 3 seconds, and then abruptly collapsed. Athletic trainers came out to help immediately, and a stretcher then was brought to the field as the trainers protected his head. The entire Bills sideline surrounded Hamlin as he received care. Multiple Bills players were visibly distressed and comforting one another as he was being cared for by athletic trainers. Many players turned away from watching Hamlin in distress. The first attempt to move Hamlin resulted in him being brought back down onto the field, but he was ultimately placed into an ambulance, which left the stadium at about 9:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and headed to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. Hamlin's family came down from the stands to be with him in the ambulance. After Hamlin exited the field, Bills players knelt together in a circle and then returned to the sideline, with the defense heading back on the field to resume play. Buffalo wide receiver Stephon Diggs called everyone over for a word. However, instead of resuming play, Bengals coach Zach Taylor walked over to Bills counterpart Sean McDermott and met with the game officials present. The decision was then made to temporarily pause the game, which the Bengals were leading 7-3, before the league ultimately chose to postpone it. What was most important was that it wasn't about proceeding with the game. NFL Executive Vice President of Football Operations Troy Vincent said during a conference call, frankly, that aspect never crossed my mind or the mind internally. We asked that the referee Sean Smith communicate with both Taylor and Coach McDermott, getting the players together. Frankly, it was just about getting a pause or a pulse of where they were at that particular time. Vincent said that there was not a discussion between him and Commissioner Roger Goodell about a 5-minute period for players to get warmed up, and that resuming play did not cross their minds. The National Football League Players Association and everyone in our community is praying for Damar Hamlin, the union said in a statement. We have been in touch with Bills and Bengals players and with the NFL. The only thing that matters at this moment is Damar's health and well-being. Diggs and Taylor were among those who went to the hospital later Monday night, while some fans gathered outside it as well. Meanwhile, reaction came across the sports world on social media, and you can check that out for yourself, with Stars quarterback Josh Allen. With Bills quarterback Josh Allen among those asking for prayers, and Higgins sending his own to Hamlin and his family. More on this developing story as it becomes available. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender, never quit.